6 state champions and 4 state runners-up and 22 state medalist teams. 4 of his boys' teams in the last 10 years have ended the season in the top 10 in the United States. Overall, his teams have won 37 conference championships, 45 sectionals, 41 regionals, and 10 semi-states. 26 girls and 24 boys have earned all-state cross-country honors, and 79 runners have gone on to compete in college. In track, he's coached 30 state medalists and a nominee for the National Coach of the Year 4 times. He was inducted into the Indiana Track Cross Country Hall of Fame in 2004.
Good afternoon. Observing things for a long time, and I want to clearly let you know I'm a work in progress. I'm a work in progress as a coach and a work in progress as an because this attitude, it's a great day to get better. How are we going to do it? That is not normal. That is not typical of the world we're living in. That means most people in our world waste 5/7 of their lives waiting for 2/7 of their lives. And I think it's very clear that if you intend to seek excellence, you must become a 7/7 person. Cannot be like everybody else around them if you want to seek excellence. In their lives. I'm happy to make you uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is not a bad thing. This is the road to excellence, we tell our athletes every day, is uncomfortable. That's why you might concentrate on what coaching is really about. Every day in everything we do, we should be asking ourselves 2 questions. One is, where does this show up in competition? Everything we do, drills, strength, core, run-throughs, pop-ups, everything, where does this show up in competition? And then the second thing I'm asking us to think about is, where does today's practice, where does it show up in life? A 6-foot high jump, a 16-minute 5K, a 22-foot long jump, those things in themselves have very little carryover once you move on to real life. What carries over is the process of learning how to pursue excellence. So I'm suggesting it can't just be about achieving excellence in the long jump. It's also got to be about showing those kids what they're learning in the process of pursuing excellence. I have a talk with myself, and I said, you know, if you're in this to win a state championship, it's probably time to be done, because the odds are very much against you ever coaching a state championship team. And so I thought about that for a few days. And then I really thought about, no, the reason I'm in this is because I know what I was like before I had track and cross country in my life. I know what I was like before I had coaches in my life. And I'm in this because I want to be that to other kids. I want them to get out of it what I've been really blessed to get out of it. It was precisely after I realized that that's really not why I'm in it. And I'm okay that I'll never coach a state championship team. You know, since that time, we've won 6 state championships. Can you state your philosophy of coaching and teaching in 2 or 3 very specific? So whatever you believe is your philosophy, make sure it is not only what you say, but also what you live. But I'm saying at the same time, if we want to make a lasting impact, we've got to teach them the skills of excellence in life. They've got. I have never talked to our boys cross-country team to set a goal to win the state championship. No. And here's why. We don't have much control over that. We can control ourselves, but we've got no control of the other 408 teams in Indiana. There are some great coaches. There are great athletes. I hate to set a goal that we can't control. It says, run like a state champion today. And here's what I like to go back to as many times as I can. Every athlete, every step, every day. And in a classroom, every student, every class, every day. Close one, everybody always wants to beat Duke. Right on the last play of the game, Duke was down one, and a freshman went up for a shot, he got fouled. They had a freshman on the line, 2 shots, they were down 1 point. 1 to tie, 2 to win. Game was over at that point, so there's nobody else. Kid's standing out there by himself. Kid misses both shots. In the next 5 seconds, the crowd goes crazy, the opponent's players are jumping up and down, the Duke kids are kind of shuffling back to the bench. And I watched Mike Krzyzewski, in that few seconds, leave the bench, go right to the free throw line, and look right up at this kid. He was a 6'10" kid. I don't know how tall Coach Krzyzewski is, but he's looking up at him. And the camera's on him, and you can see Mike Krzyzewski say, "There will be another time, you will hit those free throws, you will win games for us." Ooh, I learned so much from that. Immediately went to, how do I make this a learning experience for the future? I will always remember that. The kid's name at the line was Christian Leitner, and he ended up winning a few games for Duke University at his time. The goal is not that they never feel negative, the goal is that they don't feel negative for very long. This is definitely not like everybody else. Choices as get to, not have to. For example, they don't say, "Coach, what do we have to run today?" They say, "Coach, what do we get to run today?" Ultimately, you'd like them to get to me say, "Coach, who gets to carry the Gatorade container? You know, Coach, who gets to set up the tents? You know, how much do we get to run for cool down?" You know, we try to just get that deep into them that all these, yeah, my eyes got that big. I was standing right by him. And I couldn't jump in fast enough. And that's how I got 30 minutes one-on-one with one of the greatest Olympic athletes in any sport from any country. 4 consecutive gold medals in the discus out of order. So I'm driving him back here from the airport, and I'm asking him questions, and I'm listening to him, and I'm driving, and I'm trying to write notes on my clipboard. If anybody else did that, it would be like a law against texting or something like that. But I couldn't help it. I had excellence in the car, and I just peppered him for 30 minutes. I'm sure he was scared. You know, one is he said to me, "Goals that take a long time to achieve are far more rewarding than goals that are quickly achieved." Here's the second thing he told me. He said, "My high school discus coach knew nothing about the discus. Nothing. And so I would go out there and I would throw, and we'd watch it land, and he would say, 'Al, good throw. I think you can throw farther.' And he'd throw it again. He'd say, 'Al, good throw. I think you can throw farther.'" And this 4-time Olympic champ, you know what he said about that? He said, "That was as good coaching as I could ever have." He encouraged me, but he always believed I could do more. It didn't matter if he didn't know anything about the discus. He knew that I could do more, and he always pushed me. The third one is, he had no weight room. He had no way to get stronger. Al Order's dad was a plumber. And you see what he did. He took PVC pipe, Clorox bottles, cement. He built his own weights to lift out of the plumbing supplies. That's what I got. That's excellence. That's people that find a way. Absolutely, sports can build character. But we've got to see that as our mission. We've got to teach it in this day and age, specifically, step by step, and then reinforce it and reward it. Brett knows you've got to be countercultural. You can't be like everybody else, and it's got to be just about every day.